dear directors, dear professors, dear PhD students, dear friends and colleagues. Good morning, Jonapod. In October 2021, during a very long meeting of the directors of the Ferenc Mádl Institute of Comparative Law and the Institute of Justice in Warsaw, Professor János Szilágyi proposed to undertake research on parental responsibility. Concept draft ProfNet 2022 include a proposal for research on the following topics: the concept of the child, the status of the child not being under parental responsibility, the governing principles of parental responsibility, the content in exemplar rights and obligations arising from parental responsibility in the Central European professor countries, particularly arising from the content of parental responsibility, what is the general rule applicable to parental responsibility in case of a divorce, the child's contact, visitation, access right in case of a divorce or in case of an exclusive parental responsibility, the concept of altering residence. We have a task, but we need an international team of specialists. Who was part of the team? The Central European Academy University of Miskolc appointed at the beginning of 2022 the research team content of the right to parental responsibility, composed of Professor Aleksandra Koracz-Grować, University of Zagreb, Croatia. Professor Zdenka Kralcikowa, University of Brno, Czech Republic. Professor Timea Bardzo, University of Miskolc, Hungary. Professor Marek Andrzejewski, Polish Academy of Sciences, Poland. Dr Michał Poniatowski, Cardinal Stefan Wyszynski, University in Warsaw, Poland. Professor Zuzanna Kralić, University of Maribor, Slovenia. Professor Lila Grajowa, Pan-European University, Bratislava, Slovakia. Professor Gordana Kowaczyk-Stanić, University of Novi Sad, Serbia. And me, Pawel Sobczyk. The famous appendix number 3. What is this? After the formal establishment of an international team of researchers in January 2022, we began intensive work on a dedicated research program and its results. The results was with the famous appendix number 3. As we can see, the scope of research designated by the Institute at then the Central European Academy was very wide. The main challenge faced by our team was to answer the question posed above, but not only. We assumed that in addition to analysis concerning many aspects of parental authority, we would also deal with the indication of the basis principles and systemic values underlying the rights to the family in general. That is why we have resort to constitutional guarantees that set out the guaranteed principles of the status of the individual. This allowed us to decode the axiological and systematic context of parental responsibility authority. It turned out that in our countries, parental responsibility is based on similar values, among which human dignity is in the first place. After this key finding, we proceeded to an analysis of the concept of parental responsibility. In this case, it turned out the proposal concept of power is not so obvious from a legal point of view. In addition to the concept of parental responsibility, in the legal system of our countries, there is also human or parents' guardianship and human parents' autonomy. Working on sources of law was extremely interesting in this concept. Our research on parental authority ad intra, so the relationship between parents and children, should be considered extremely interesting scientifically. The concept of a parent, the concept of the child, the rights and obligation of parents and child, resulting from the parental responsibility are just some aspects of the research. A great challenge for the researchers turned out to the analysis of parental authority, parental responsibility ad extra, outside. So the relationship of parents to public authorities, state and local government. In our countries, there is a certain tension in the sphere of upbringing, especially religious and sexual. As lawyers, we could not limit our research to describing and saying how it is. Therefore, both in the book, which is the result of our work, as well as in scientific articles and dissemination event, we devoted a lot of attention to the proposal de lege ferenda, including the referenda constitutionalis. It is so be hoped that the results of our work will be appreciated by the legislator, but for this we need political will. The presence of Minister Marcin Romanowski, who has the power to act in this area, is all the more pleasing. Well done, we hope. Our theme, content of the right to parental responsibility, as part of the implementation of tasks resulting from the project. He conducts scientific research, thanks to which the book Content of the Right to Parental Responsibility, Experiences, Analysis, Postulate was created. The book will be published by Central European Academic Publishing as part of the studies of the Central European Professor Network, whose editor-in-chief of the series is Professor János Ede Szilágyi. He conducts scientific research, thanks to which each of us wrote a scientific article on extremely important and current legal problems related to parental responsibility. In cooperation with the Central European Academy, University of Miskolc, Ferenc Mádl Institute of Justice in Warsaw, we organized a wonderful international scientific conference summarizing the first stage of scientific and broadcasting work. He prepared and conducted dissemination events in the form of conferences, webinars, interviews, competitions, hard talks, and other forms of dissemination of scientific research results. He organized several online scientific meetings during which we exchanged views, comments, ideas, and new legal concepts. He advised the initiator of the project, the Central European Academy and Ferenc Mádl Institute of Comparative Law, scientific centers, our university, and scientists taking part in the extremely important scientific event in several countries of Central Europe. And he wrote over 1,000 emails and made over 100 phone calls regarding scientific and organizational matters related to the project. At the end of my speech, I would like to express my appreciation and thanks. On behalf of myself and our entire team, I would like to thank Professor János Ede Szilágyi for the idea of creating Central European Professor Network, for choosing the topic of parental responsibility, for trusting us, and under trusting us with such an important and wonderful scientific task. Thank you very much. I would like to thank Dr. Katarzyna Zombory and Professor Timea Barzo, General Director of Central European Academy, for their great kindness and support in all elements of the project. Thanks so much, dear ladies. I would like to thank the people involved in the service of the project and the organization of event accompanying it, including the international conference, with whom I have contracted hundreds of times this year. Dear Barbara Hofer, dear Sylvia Horvat, thank you very much. I would like to thank Undersecretary of State, Minister of Justice of Republic of Poland, Dr. Marcin Romanowski, for great interest in family issues, many valuable legislative initiatives protecting the family and for friendly cooperation with our team. Thank you very much for your participation in our conference. Dear Aleksandra, Lila, Gordana, Marek, Michał, Susanna, Timea, Zdenka, it's hard to find words to thank you. I never thought that the scientific international work in international research team could be such a fascinating adventure. Thanks you, dreams in scientific world have become really a big thank you for you. Special thanks to my friends from the Institute of Justice in Warsaw, Professor Marcin Wielec, Director of the Institute, and Dr. Bartłomiej Oręziak, for their amazing support and help during this year. And it's not official, but I would like to thank my family, my wife Agnieszka, my daughter Marta, and my son, for their understanding of my scientific commitment and their invaluable support. Without you, my family, my research would be only theoretical, not practical. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, on behalf of our team, I want you to participate in the conference, which is a summary of our scientific effort regarding the issues of the family, which is extremely close to all of us. There is nothing more fascinating for a scientist than to deal with things that are both important and so close to the heart.